Morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Monday morning. This is the earliest I've woken up in a while, which sounds terrible because I got up at like 5:30. It's not like ridiculous. It's not like crazy early. I don't know. Summertime, I always seem to wake up later, which is weird. But anyways, today I'm hoping to get estimates done that I wasn't able to go to Friday, register the trailer, and get some computer work done. But the reason I'm getting up earlier is we looked at the finances last night. My dad and I split the mowing, and the money that we made for April, May, and June was much less than we would have liked. We want to make some changes. One of those changes is getting to the shop before everybody else, getting all the trucks ready, so that way we're not losing half an hour in the morning, which half an hour with 8 guys is 4 hours of labor, which is a lot every day. So if we can get there early, get all the trucks set up, so that way when the guys get there, they're just heading out. That should hopefully save us like 4 hours of labor. So we'll see if that helps. The other thing that we're gonna do is raise prices on our least profitable clients. If it's a larger client with multiple properties, we'll look at them as a package and see. But either way, the people that are the least profitable, we're gonna look at, raise their price, and try and switch into profit mode. We've been in growth mode. That is the plan. I'm gonna head in and get it done. All right, so we're gonna be doing 2 things. Well, one thing to note is this back tree line. We won't be doing this now, but later on, eventually cutting that down. But in this tennis court, all these weeds in the tennis court, the big ones we'll have to pull or use the weed whacker to cut down. This guy, just go to over there. So like eventually we'll be spraying. Don't worry about any of this. Just like the sumac, pull that or cut it down. Pull and cut down this. Whatever we pull or cut down, we gotta haul away, which will be the initial thing that we do, is come in here and just pull and cut down all the taller weeds. And then afterwards we will be spraying. So just down along here. And then that should be getting weed whacked, but it wouldn't hurt to do a little spot spraying in there. These little beds don't do anything with their garden. Obviously, leave that. But spraying anything growing in the mulch, and then spray in that bed. Obviously not the ornamental stuff. And then any weeds growing in these beds, just any mulch bed, or even in the pavement or concrete, spraying. And then the initial thing that we're gonna do is this fence line, cutting everything down and hauling it away. So there is a fence in here, and everything on this side of the fence needs to be cut down, and I would even go across the top as well. Yeah, cut all that down, haul it away. And then there is more beds up here. If there's stuff growing right inside the plants, pulling that out. Otherwise, spraying all these weeds. So being very careful not to get anything ornamental. But these are all beds up here. Yeah, all this crabgrass. Make sure you don't spray the grass on the lawn, obviously. And that's it. The bigger stuff we'll pull when we first come here. And then there might be, yeah, there's another bed along there. And anything on the patio, spraying that as well. Alrighty guys, I got all the guys started mowing. My dad and Austin are doing a hedge, and then they're gonna jump in mowing. We're down a mower. So Jake was gonna come in today, but we just don't have enough mowers, so told him to hold off. I've got my estimates. I went and looked at the estimates from Friday. I just have to process them. I got 1 trailer registered. The previous owner has to register one of them. I guess apparently he never registered it.
What?
So he's got to register it before I can, or at least title it. And let's see, what else? Oh, I reached out. I tried to upsell a couple people. I went over the contract for one place for plowing, just following up some leads, some emails, all of that. And now I got to go get a truck inspected. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of spraying, get the sprayer ready for tomorrow, and then follow up with some more customers. Should be it for today. Alrighty guys, I am firing off quotes, handling business, getting things done. I'm gonna go do a quote real quick, keep things rolling. I think I have performance pay pretty much figured out for work orders, not for mowing. So I think I'm gonna work on that and try and get that figured out. Because we have a guy, Austin, that works with us, and he is a really hard worker, and I think he would really benefit from performance pay. Filling up some diesel, and I am like really realizing now. I watched like Mike Andy's videos, and he says like $0 to $200,000 you're an operator, and then from like 200,000 to like 500,000 you're a manager, and that's where I'm at right now. And totally realize it why I need to be a manager. I need to be training guys and making sure things are running smoothly, because I'm at the point now where I have multiple crews, more so for landscaping. I can't be with every crew. And now I have like multiple guys and they all need training. It's like, I literally just need to focus on, if I want to grow, I need to focus on keeping guys trained and making sure they stay moving, which is gonna take a hit in my pay, because I'm not gonna make as much as I would being in the field working, because now I'm in overhead costs. But to get to that next level, it makes so much sense. I was just thinking about tomorrow. I'm like, wow, none of these guys are even trained on anything. Like, I'm trying to be in every place at once, and I keep thinking like an operator. And I'm like, oh, I'll go work with this guy. And then I'm like, well, I can't have them go do that because they don't know how to do it. So tomorrow, I'm gonna train one of the guys on how to spray, and then I'm gonna send him off to do something that he already knows how to do. And then I'm gonna go set up for the job tomorrow. Instead of spraying tomorrow with him, I'll have him spray the day after tomorrow with someone else. And that way they are trained on how to spray, and now they can do that. And then I'll be able to work with one of the other guys on a job, which I'll still be working on jobs. It's going to be less frequently. So yeah, I really got to accept the manager role. Good morning, guys.
Good morning!
Last night I got information that 2 more mowers are down.
No.
So today we're pulling Bill off of mowing. He's gonna just work on the mowers. So that means I was gonna have one guy with me today. So that means they're gonna be mowing. I'm gonna get equipment set up for the day, for the job tomorrow. And then if I can, go get some more work done that I would have done today. But main priority is getting the job set up for tomorrow and making sure that gets done, and then seeing how the guys are doing, maybe jumping in mowing if it makes sense. But again, first priority is I'm just gonna get that job set up for tomorrow. Alrighty guys, so 3 mowers are down. 3 guys called out, and my truck, the serpentine belt and the fan just blew off. Bill's gonna be working in the shop. Bill, Jamie, Ethan, my dad, and Jacob are gonna be mowing. I gotta get equipment set up for tomorrow, as well as get truck inspected, and then I'm gonna meet up with Jacob and help him mow. But it always seems like when something goes wrong, everything goes wrong. We'll get through it. This place is starting to look more like a graveyard. Down. And there's another one in there that's down. Crazy. Everything always happens at once. Alrighty guys, I just had to drop Jacob off, so I will be mowing this lawn. Well, the next, I'm hoping to get 4 more lawns done. Sorry, 5. And yeah, drop Jacob off. We'll have some more left to this route, but if I can at least get 5 more done, that'll help us out. And then yeah, tomorrow we'll have 2 crews mowing, 1 crew, including myself, landscaping. And then Thursday, I'm hoping we'll have 3 crews mowing. And then Friday will be probably a catch-up day on mowing. Yeah, let me get to it and mow some lawns here. All right, guys, it is 7 o'clock. I'm about to do probably my last lawn. Here she is. She's a big one. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this done. There was 1 more lawn I wanted to do, but I don't think I'll be able to. Oh well. All right, I just finished up.
Nice.
8 o'clock. I'm gonna head back. Just hatched an idea because I've been wanting to implement performance pay, but I was wondering how to do it with mowing. And I think what I'll do is I'll create, instead of clocking in for every property, they'll still write their times down, but I'll pre-create routes. So the routes will have to be updated, but guys will just clock in to whatever route they're doing. If they jump in and help someone else out on their route, they'll just clock into that route. But that way I'll do budgeted hours per route, so it'll be less entry for them. It'll be more entry for admin, because if they update any routes, they'll have to add or subtract it from whatever route. But
I think that'll be easier for the guys, and that makes sense to me as far as being able to track their budgeted hours. And then that way, if they're mowing or landscaping, everything will be a work order pretty much. They'll clock into different jobs for landscaping and they'll clock into routes for mowing. That makes the most sense. I'll just have to edit it a bit, but instead of mowing being its whole own section, it'll all just be under work orders and their routes will be added to the schedule. And yeah, and then when they're done their route, they'll mark it completed. If they have callbacks, we'll have to open up the route again, work order again, and we'll have to go back to it. But I think that makes a lot of sense. Try it out. I'm just thinking out loud here, but I was thinking about it some more. And the only issue I see is we won't be able to track the lifetime of each route because routes get changed all the time. People stop wanting our service. We add more people. Tracking like the lifetime of each route is going to be, it'll just be a new route every time. So the only difficult thing about that is if we were tracking it per property, we could see like, hey, you did this, it took this much time last time and now it's taking this much time, you know, what's the deal? That'll be annoying. Just thinking if I do it per property, it wouldn't be in the work orders, it would be its whole own data table, which would make it trickier for me. I gotta think some more about that. I mean, how worth it is it to be able to track per property? I mean, for us, as far as performance wise, if they're writing their times down, we can go through and look at each time of each property, but it'd be nice for them to see. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
It is 5:40. I'm heading out to the shop. I'm gonna load up the dump trailer, some mats, and probably the excavator. And I'm gonna head out to Shazy to drop that off. I gotta think if I'm gonna load the excavator or not. But anyways, I'm gonna drop that off. Austin and I are gonna be working out there for the day. My dad, Jamie, Ethan, Bill, and Jacob are all gonna be mowing. They'll all be mowing. That's the plan for today. Let's get it done.
They see me rolling, they hate it.
Trimming this hedge. So it's very overgrown. And we're taking that tree down. What's that? Yeah, Bill just came by, took a saw, and dropped his tree. That works. I'm in the shrub. I have become one with the shrub. Alrighty guys, just wrapping up for the day. It is 5:25. I did everything I could with the lift, so I got that out of there. I'm bringing that to Miller Street because it's closer to the rental place. So tomorrow morning I'm gonna hook onto the other dump trailer, bring a couple guys with me. We'll need a step ladder to finish the hedge. I'll bring them out there with the dump trailer, have them start cleaning up. I tidied up a little bit, but it's gotta be tidied up more and definitely all cleaned up, finish the hedge. When I get them started, then I'll go back in, return the lift. I'd return it tonight, but you can't drop it off overnight and they don't open till 7, so they'll get started. I gotta figure out if I'm gonna pick up the chipper, but either way, we'll have 2 trailers there, so we can just be loading stuff up, hauling it out of there, and then the only thing I'll have to do tomorrow as well is clean out the bed with the excavator. And then after that, we're done the excavator and the lift. Then it'll just be finished cutting that stump down, grind it down, and bring in topsoil. The hard part's over. They're the hardest part, which is doing that hedge with the lift, which I think I'm gonna stop offering that service because it sucks and I'm like the only one that can or will do it.
The next day.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is Thursday morning. I'm heading out to the shop. I'm gonna load up one of the dump trailers, step ladder, tools, pick up a couple of the guys. We're gonna head out to Shazy. I'm gonna probably try and stop at Miller Street and attempt to load up the chipper if it'll fit, but we're gonna get the tree clippings and the hedge wrapped up. I'm gonna clean up that bed, and by clean up I mean delete it, and load up all that stuff, return the lift, and then I'll probably still keep the tractor there because I'll need it to spread topsoil eventually. But the next thing will be renting a stump grinder and then spreading topsoil and seed. So, but today is to get everything cleaned up and looking good because it might be a few days before we get back over there. So that's the plan. Let's get to it. All right, I just got Jake and Austin set up. Jake's loading brush into the trailer, which is gonna definitely be full by the time I get back. Austin's finishing up the hedge. So hopefully by the time I get back, which I'm leaving to go return the lift, we should have all hands on deck just loading up brush, or at least have them two loading up brush, and I will be removing that bed. It honestly might make more sense to have them do the brush and then I can do that bed myself when they're not there. I might do that. We'll see. Everything cleaned up.
Nice.
And I am just leaving for the day. Got everything cleaned up. Still cleaning up the stumps over there. And then we're cleaning up where the stumps are ground. Grinding that stump, picking up a few more things, and then topsoil and seed. It is 7:20. I got the job in a good place. I could have done more, but I still got to bring all these tools back, unload, and then go out to Desiree. So figured I'm gonna call it now. Long day. I gotta get some more guys on board. People are calling out, and we got a ton of work to do. So good morning, everybody. It is Friday today.
Yeah, boy.
My dad, Bill, Jamie, Jake, and Ethan are gonna be mowing. I've got a few estimates this morning that I gotta go meet with in person or go look at the property. I gotta go home. I got estimates from last week that I still have to process. So I'm gonna sit down, process all the estimates, and then go over any other computer work that I have to do and keep chugging away on performance pay. And that's my plan for today. I really just need to focus 100% on getting performance pay in the business. That is priority number one. Estimates, that's like my daily, I have to do it today, but on top of that, performance pay, as much as I like to think about other things, I need to focus 100% on that until that's solved, and then I'll move on to the next problem to solve. Something cool to note, Desiree is reading a book called Atomic Habits, if you guys have ever read it, but it talks about 100 small changes amounting to one big change. And that lines up a lot with what Alex Hormozy says, which is a lot of people focus on the outputs, focus on making a ton of money. They focus on, quitting cigarettes. But in reality, you should be focusing on all the inputs, which is a ton of tiny things that amount to the one big thing. So for like the cigarette example, you stop smoking a cigarette after you have coffee. You stop smoking cigarettes when you grab it in the morning, but you focus on one of those, fix it, and then keep going. And now you've created all these habits where you don't smoke cigarettes anymore. For business, you just focus on making one small change, making your customer service better. Okay, what's the next thing? Focus on making your invoice system more seamless. Okay. Focus on reducing churn and increasing your close ratio or optimizing your close ratio, whatever. Fix that. For me, performance pay, fixing that. That's actually a big one. I guess a small input, but I think that's a very big input. I'm starting with the biggest bottlenecks and then I'll work my way down. But yeah, that's the biggest one. So anyways, I thought I'd share that. All right, so we're gonna have a couple line items here. One is just trimming the sides of this hedge. We got to get it back. There's a trellis or a walkway over there. I'll show you, that's where the hedge used to be. Another line item to actually cut this hedge way down. I would say, honestly, in line with right there. That's gonna make this hedge more manageable for the future. But that'll be a separate line item, cutting the top, and then a line item to trim up these sides as much as you can without losing privacy from the neighbors. This is where the hedge used to be, but that was, 8 years ago. So we won't be able to get it in that far, but just as a note to where it was. And then the next piece is this row of lilacs. So we'll just clean up everything at the bottom here and then cut this back so it is straight
Again, keeping in mind privacy, and then also leveling out the top into a box shape. So right there, that height, straight across. And then making some room around this, I think it's a weeping cherry. And also pruning this, just all these guys that are starting to hang down and sprout up at the top. Trimming these 2 forsythia, another 2 burning bushes over there, trimming this forsythia, and this walkway, just trim everything right in line. So bring a trimmer straight down through here and also through here. This hydrangea. So there's a walkway here to get to the hose. Shaping this up so that there's more room, and then just shaping it in general, but keeping it off the house, and so there's clearance to get to the hose. Trimming these 2 burning bushes, shaping them, and then shaping this lilac. And that is it. All of these smaller trimmings, the walkway and that hedgerow will be its own thing. And then that back hedge will be 2 separate line items. Alrighty guys, so I just emailed back. I had an opportunity back in June 16th. Right now it's it's July. It was about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago. I got a list of properties through Clinton County that they wanted bid, and it's 4 border locations. They would need 24/7, 365 plowing. They have 49 acres of asphalt and concrete that they would need plowed. So this would be the biggest contract I have. I mean, this has to be close to like $1 million contract. So
Nice.
it's very awesome. But I was just emailing the guy and he needed a bid submitted by 4 o'clock today. I haven't even walked these sites or anything. I'm like, that's just ridiculous. There's no way I can just submit a bid and go for it. But if I had the proper time, I would go find out how much it's going to cost to lease loaders and then calculate the cost that I'd have to pay guys for them to show up, see if I can find guys in the area because it's like 40 minutes away. There's a lot that would go into this. If I was to bid this, I would want to be able to pay guys very, very well and really make sure my butt is covered because it's the border that I'd be plowing. I mean, this is insane. But yeah, it's crazy. And then it also comes with like other jobs, like just other little stuff that'll come with that, like repairing concrete and digging out. I don't even know how much of that stuff I'd want to get into, but anyways, yeah, I had to turn it down. I just said, no. Wait. I said, I appreciate the opportunity, but unfortunately, I don't feel comfortable without having walked the properties and conducting the due diligence needed for a contract this size. So he's gonna let me know if there's any other contracts, but I just told him this is way too short a notice. Like 49 acres of asphalt. I mean, 4 different border locations. I can barely keep guys to show up and mow lawns. I mean, to get guys to go all the way out to Champlain 24/7. 365. It wouldn't be 365, but for 7 months to keep this thing plowed, I mean, maybe next year. The only thing is it's 1-year contract, but it has the option to renew for 4 years. So whoever gets this might have it for the next 5 years, which means I won't have an opportunity to bid potentially for the next 5 years, which sucks. But oh well, I'm not gonna jump into this and then get screwed. But yeah, the nice thing about having those options is if I could work because I'd have to lease loaders, like a lot of them, and I'd be able to get at least like a 3 or 5 year lease on these loaders, and I'd have the option to keep the contract for 3 or 5 years. So that is nice, but yeah, too short a notice. All right, so all of the small growth, cutting down and hauling away. If there's any stick sleeves, any kind of debris, cleaning that up and getting it out of here. There's some stumps to note, grinding them down. There's one here. There's a few more, I'll note them as I see them, but any stumps that we see we'll grind down. And there's some concrete in here, digging this up, putting some more topsoil and seeding. It's a low spot here, filling that in as well. There's a well casing here, taking these cinder blocks out, but just note that there's a well casing there. Trimming this shrub, trimming that shrub. The perimeter is where most of the work needs to be done. You can see there's another stump there, but there's small growth and sticks and leaves all throughout here. A little bit right there. There is quite a bit. So cleaning all this up, that's gonna be gone. All these sheds will be gone. There's a concrete slab there, which we're gonna wait to hear about, but all this small growth, all this, again, all the leaves and sticks, if there's any debris still left here. These clump of trees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're gonna cut these right down and haul them away, grind the stumps down. The perimeter of this property runs all the way around, but it's all like that. And then this tree as well, it's a bigger one. It's got vines taking over it. It's dead. Cutting that down and grinding the stump. And then cleaning up all in here. Again, just the whole perimeter. There's a bit more stuff in here. Cutting back some of these shrubs. I would maybe even cut this down, and then cut down and grind this stump. And that's it. Bring the tractor and scrape up this dirt. I'm not sure how far this driveway goes, so just scrape it until there's no more driveway.